as you can see, I just don't house plants. I house wildlife.
Take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden. 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 Living my life.
See, I am out here in my greenhouse. It is a beautiful day. Today I'm gonna try a different little format, and we could talk as we work. But I wanted to show you an update on the greenhouse because it's looking really good. And also, since again the time of the season is changing, I'm getting ready to take some of my herbs out of the garden, bring them inside of the greenhouse. So okay, y'all, I'm outside in the garden. I'm just gonna show you some things I'm gonna cut up because again, I told you I'm taking the oregano. And I'm taking some lemon balm in the greenhouse, but it does definitely need to be cut because it's some dead leaves, and I will show you that process of me cutting it, uprooting it so I can move it. Alright, y'all. Okay, y'all, here's the oregano, and as you see, some of it is dead, but that's okay because it's about to winter over too. Some of them even have flowers. It's a nice cool day out here too. Well, not cool, but it's warm, but it's still breezy a little bit. And as I'm cutting this, it smells so good. I'm cutting the good parts and the bad parts off because, and the dry parts off, it's not really bad. It's just, well, it's dried and dead. But then I'll go in the house and clean it up and take some of that new growth that you see. But this bottom part, you know, you can discard that, or you know, I'm not sure how people like the smell of oregano or not, but you can mix it with like kind of like a potpourri blend of some of your dry herbs if you into herbs. What I do is I'll take a cinnamon stick, some lemon balm, lemongrass, some lemon thyme, whatever might be aromatic, lavender for sure, rosemary, and I'll put it in a pot and I'll steep it, and it makes the house smell nice and fresh. So that's a little hack you can do if you start growing herbs. And it is that time of the year to go ahead on and start cleaning out your old stuff. And the hope is, well, it's not a hope, I know I can do it. I can retain the growth of this in the greenhouse. If it gets too cold in the greenhouse, all it'll do is just go in a dormant state, and then when it starts getting warm outside again, it'll start growing again. You'll see it start really taking off and producing new growth. I want to show you the inside of how kind of dead it is, but I promise you that will come back, and it'll come back green if I put it in the greenhouse at this point in time. I'm not going to cut all the green growth off because, you know, you still want to be left with something for the chlorophyll to pull and make it start to grow again. And I hope you guys can see But if you look in there, it's plenty of little green growth in there that will take off. So this is how I prepare. Oh, and I was saying that this plant is a plant that I've had for 3 years. So that's how I know it's going to come back, because I have been replanting and moving this oregano plant for about 3 years now. And it still comes back every year. So, as you can see, I cut a lot of growth off of it to what it originally looked like. Here's all of the oregano that I pulled from it. And I wanted to show y'all this. That is a new cucumber coming up. I don't know, or maybe it's zucchini. It's either a new cucumber or a zucchini. And I just thought that was interesting because the season is getting ready to end, and I have that cucumber or either a zucchini growing now. And this is my collard green plant, and they look real good. So that's gonna stay out here, because I showed y'all when I planted those the first time that these are my outside experiments, and then I'll show you in the greenhouse what we have. So since I've cut this oregano down, and if you couldn't see the green leaves before, now you see them. You know, they're still in there. So I'm gonna leave this right now. I'm gonna go over to my lemon balm and get that, and then I'm gonna uproot both of them, and then we'll go in the greenhouse where it's a little bit cooler at, because the fan is there. So, alright, see y'all in a few. Also, let me show y'all these tomatoes before I show you the lemon balm. Those are brand new tomatoes coming up. This one is too. It's the end of the season. The only thing I have a right mind to do is put them in a pot, and hopefully they can hold off until next April, but I don't know how that works before it's time to put them in the ground again. But I can try it as an experiment as well. We'll see. That's my basil. My basil is getting ready to end. You see it's all woody at the bottom, and then you have all the green at the top. That means it's dying from the root down going up. And basil is not as perennial, especially once it starts to flower, like oregano is, or maybe thyme is. So the basil, I'm gonna just cut off the branches and let it do its thing until it dies out, because I have plenty of basil seeds, and basil is easy to grow. This is the Thai basil. Now the Thai basil has gone to flower. Also pretty much the same thing. Oh, look at the bee, y'all. They still trying to hold on. And they love these Thai basil blooms when they start blooming. Once they start blooming, they say that the leaves are a little bit more bitter, but I still eat them. But as you see, they're getting woody at the bottom. So I could try to cut them all the way down and see if they do anything, and just throw them in a pot and put them in the greenhouse. It's always worth a try. But I do have more basil seeds, not Thai basil, but basil seeds. And the Thai basil flowers are really pretty, and they smell good too. It's still a bee holding on in October. Hold on, pretty bee. Alright, I'm gonna pull this. This is a pepper plant, and it's definitely not gonna produce any more fruit. That's a nice little green onion. Keep that down there. The marigolds are getting ready to come up too. This pepper plant is getting ready to come up. I actually have some lettuce that's right there, and I'm telling y'all, this is the craziest thing. Stuff is coming up so late, but that's another pepper. with a flower on it. And this was that tomato that I told you it was in the corner and I saved it, but it never produced any more tomatoes. So I'm going to get rid of that too. I'm going to take my parsley in the greenhouse too. Or, you know what, I think I'm going to just trim that up and leave it out here for a little while, because parsley can sustain a little bit of cold. So, just a little bit, not frosty, but it can sustain a little bit. So I'm going to keep that out here for a little while longer. Might be too hot in the greenhouse. But my lettuce is here, so let me go over to what the main mission was. And that is the lemon balm. Lemon balm is in the mint family, so it pretty much takes a lot to kill it. So my intention is not to kill it. My intention is to uproot some of it, leave some of it out here for however long it lasts, cut it down with the hopes of next year it'll just automatically come back, because that's what members of the mint family do. And this lemon balm is used in ingredients of my natural products that I'm getting ready to launch. So all my herbs that I grow, for the most part, I use them, but a lot of them I use them for my products that I make. So lemon balm is one of those vital herbs that I use for a particular product, and I'll be showing you guys all of that too as well. But this is the bee balm, and for the bee balm, it is spent, as you see. There's bees flying all around me, y'all. I'm not scared of them though. But that is pretty much spent, so let's go ahead and pull that now. See if I can get it up. Okay. Yep. You want to give me a little problem. Well, let me get my camera set up, and then I'll come and pull it. Alright. Okay, y'all. That bee balm didn't want to cooperate with me last time, so I'm going to get it to cooperate with me this time. Ah, that's better. It's still deep down in there. And this bee balm might come back too. But I'm not so excited about this one coming back in this particular area. Y'all see how big that is? That's crazy, right? And it is deeply rooted. Get my gloves. That is really deep rooted. Y'all see that? So now I'm just breaking this up a little bit. I don't need to take all the dirt with me. So I have a feeling, y'all, because of how deep rooted this is, it's definitely coming back. For sure, for sure. But we will keep updating on that too. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm cutting this back and I'm putting it in the greenhouse. Yep. But since I done pulled it first already before I cut it, I don't need to cut it while it's not in some dirt or the roots aren't wet. And I don't want this whole piece, so I need to cut a piece off that I want. But yeah, I'm going to keep some of this so I can make sure I have some next year. And the bees love it. It's called Bee Balm. I'm cutting this down pretty low, y'all. Oh my gosh. As soon as you start cutting it, all you smell is lemon. I have no doubt that this is going to come back full of vengeance. This is the first year of this bee balm, so I'm sorry, lemon balm. So I'm not sure, but it's a safe guess to assume that this is definitely coming back, because like I said, it's in the mint family. So I don't want to keep being redundant. And y'all, if y'all want to grow, I would say like these type of things like mint, bee balm, thyme. Those are like the easiest herbs to grow, y'all. And when you grow them yourself, they're more pungent. When, you know, you're taking care of the soil. And y'all, I think I'm going to do the same thing what I did with the oregano. And I'm just going to cut this all the way back and pull this whole thing up, because it's plenty of deep-bedded roots that I know is going to come back no matter if I pull it up or not. So I'm going to just cut this all the way down.
So as you can see, I actually did not cut my microphone on. So the last part of this footage, I'm just going to be doing some talking over me talking, just so I can explain to you what I've been using. So this first product that I'm about to show you is, and what I really wanted to show you guys, was the Organic Ocean Harvest Fish Fertilizer. This is good for your green leafy vegetables. It is good for your herbs, and it's also good for the ground and giving the nutrients the proper soil, the same way the Indians did when they buried fish in the ground. It increases your root development, makes sure it's promoting strong and healthy root growth. You just add that to a cup of water. You're going to add about an 1/8 cup to a gallon of water, and once you do that, you can definitely let that sit overnight, create a kind of tea, and pour it over your vegetables. So again, that's the Organic Ocean Harvest. Now what I'm showing here is the Job's Organic. This is the herb granular plant food. This is good for your herbs. You can also use it for your green leafy vegetables too. I just really generally use it for the herbs, so I'm going to also be using this and mixing it into my soil, so I can also promote that strong root system, build a good foundation in my soil, because I am transplanting these plants from my garden into the greenhouse. So I just want to make sure that my soil has plenty of nourishment and nutrients to give a good start on the herbs. This next product is neem oil. It's a fungicide, a milticide, and it gets rid of pests like gnats, aphids. I was showing this product because some of my leaves have been chewed up and destroyed from some aphids that I had on the collard greens. Aphids tend to generally attack younger plants, so I sprayed that neem oil on those plants, and they're already showing new signs of life. So I did just want to show you that product. Neem oil is a good thing to put, that's all natural and organic, that you can keep bugs and pests away off of your plants. Because anytime that you're doing any type of organic gardening, you have to know and understand that the bugs want good organic vegetables the same way that you do. So neem oil is a good natural solution. So right here, I'm just getting the soil together, adding some water to plant the lemon balm and transport it into the soil. It's important to make sure that you're starting with moist soil, and it's especially important to make sure that before you cover and re-water the top, that the hole that you dig is deep enough for your roots to be able to flourish, as well as you want to make sure that they're wet enough and hydrated enough so they can start out wonderful. That water does have the fish fertilizer in it, and it's already made and mixed up. I do come back later after I put everything in the ground as far as the lemon balm and the oregano, and I watered the whole greenhouse. I don't show that process, but I do go back and fully water the greenhouse and fully water the transplanted plants. We're completing the same process. The plant food from Job's, mixing it in the soil, making sure that the soil is watered well. Once we mixed all of that up, and yeah, we're gonna put it in the ground the same exact way we did the lemon balm. Here's that plant, that collard green leaf that I told you it was chewed up and it was struggling. It still has a little green leaf on it, so I'm going to try to preserve it, but I've been using my neem oil to treat these, and they have a really good green look to them. That one is chewed up a little bit, as you can see, so that one was treated too. And I'm doing a pretty good job with catching them. I use some fish fertilizer as well. That is turmeric. Now, I actually thought I only had 2 turmeric plants, but come to find out I have 4. There were 2 roots that I had planted in the ground beside those, and they just started popping up, and those are the 2 babies. So I have 4 turmeric plants that I'm growing. That is the oregano that I got out of the garden. This is some English thyme, and you see that there is a space and distance between each one of these to avoid any cross-pollination fuses, and that is the most prettiest green plant that I have in the greenhouse now. That's some collard greens, that looks good. That is some cauliflower, that looks really good. So that's some romaine lettuce in the back. Struggling a little bit to stand up, but we're going to keep working on it. yeah, so everything looks great over here. And then that's the sage that I had cut down originally. And now you see it's coming back lush and green. I showed that in my first greenhouse video how bad that looked. So it's coming back nice. And that's some rosemary. I have actually cut some of this rosemary down since the last greenhouse video that I did and used some. That is the lemon thyme. And that is a nice lemon smell and a good plant to put right beside the lemon balm. And the lemon balm is definitely struggling right now, but it just went through some trauma being transplanted. So that is what the greenhouse is looking like, y'all. So y'all, in closing right here, I was just saying how much I just appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out to view my channel. Please remember to continue to do the most so you can be the most. And also remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share Miss Natural Mystics page. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.